vary in language and such, but they're generally all just like folk tales from kind of the surrounding area.
And how old does the book seem?
It's not super old. It might be, 50 years old. It is slightly worn. You can tell in the spine where there are pages that have been turned to and left open for longer. They tend to center on the kind of farther out stories.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
And then the top book, there is a bookmark about a third of a way in, and it is a raunchy fucking romance book. Like, I mean, when I say raunchy, you're like, you open it up and you're like, it's
Okay.
like raunchy.
Okay. I want to go ahead and open it up to a bookmark. Just like read like the first paragraphs. Like I close it and say, "Yep, that's what I expected."
Yeah, I'm like, you got to the book she actually reads. It just happened to be on the top because she didn't think
Yeah.
about people coming in and reading her books.
Then
Hi,
what I like to
Boots.
do. So then what I like to do is I like to get the bottom book, like crack it open and like flip to a random page, so it looks like you read it.
I apologize for the camera shaking. Boots jumped onto the desk. Hi, Boots.
It's okay. Come here. I would like to do that and go to Jenkins, look at Jenkins and go, "Don't tell Annabelle."
He just kind of.
Good. I flipped like 3/4 of the way through the book and just like keep it open there. Then that one goes to the top and the smart one goes on the bottom.
Yeah, that's probably a smart idea. See? Okay, I told my therapist anytime he gets on camera, it starts strobing.
Well, it does it anytime you're not, like,
Yeah.
your face isn't the focus.
I think it's like a
Like
lighting thing.
yeah, no, same. Because like whenever you're like away and on the center of attention, it starts going toot 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 toot.
Yeah, when you slid away to do, like, the sofa bit, it started strobing like that. I'm back.
Hold on.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, well, now it's still strobing. Why?
That's probably a setting you can fix.
Yeah, no. So, like, if I readjust it a bit, sometimes when Boots is not out in frame, like, I have to readjust it, but once Boots is out of frame, it stops strobing.
Okay.
I think it's just like darkness levels. It's like, ah, 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 ah.
Ah!
But, like, should I show Boots before we get back into it?
Yes,
Show
before we
boots.
go back into the immersion.
Show boots.
Look at him.
Here comes the boy.
See? Literally
Hello,
in therapy
boy.
today, every time he'd pop on screen, it would start strobing.
I love him.
We said that Magic Cat was catting. Look how wild he looks in the strobe. You look like you
Honestly,
have a really pure and wonderful aura, but we know it's lying.
yeah. He's so eepy.
You just want snuggles. Go bed. And see, I readjusted the camera. He's not in direct focus, and now the strobing's gone.
Okay, so now the book that was definitely read, totally wink wink, is on top.
Wait, you said it was on the bottom.
Oh, no, I said definitely wink wink, definitely 100% for sure
Okay.
read.
Okay. So you put the like basics to housekeeping or whatever on the top, and then there's the history book, and then on the bottom is like the raunchy smut.
Please don't. I said that I did the spine thing and then.
Yeah, when you said it was definitely red, I didn't look up and realize that you were doing tone.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was. Yeah, sorry about that.
Wonk.
That was my bad. I just I heard what you said and was like, ah, yes, this is exactly what is meant to be.
Wink wonk, quotation marks. Ahem, ahem.
Nudge nudge. Tip of the hat.
So you all come in. Forge has gone and just planted themselves directly on the book nook. You all have, two very plush chairs, a plush couch. There's a desk with a seat behind it, and then Forge has gone to the book nook. Where do the rest of y'all sit?
I beeline it for the bar and ask for
Okay,
more of that delicious wine from one of the servants
Man,
available.
Jenkins just
Jenkins,
kind of looks over at Forge and
I
nods,
just go.
and he pulls a jug out from underneath and pours it into your glass and just goes, "Please enjoy."
Thank you. God, that wine is so good. You have to send me home with a bottle of that.
We will gladly send you home with at least a bottle, as many as you would like.
I genuinely appreciate it.
Where does Willow choose to sit and or go in the room?
I'm going to sit on the couch, but I'm also going to grab the book
Which book?
on the bottom.
The smut book?
smut.
You literally
Yeah.
walk over, pull it out from under Forge, and you're like, "Mine."
Yes, because if I know Allegra, I know that's what she reads. So
You, when you open it, instead of it opening immediately to the front page, it's open to the last page because that's where the book has been open to the most amount of times. And you are reading this I mean, raunchy ass, out there levels of smut.
seems accurate.
So like a book talk level. Of
Yes.
smut.
Think chapter 52 of the third Akatar book. You haven't read it yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yes.
So I would like for you to roll me just a constitution check. I would like to know how your face reacts to that.
16 plus 1.
Okay, so 17. You are pretty chill. Does everyone else, what's their passive perception?
My passive perception is 11.
Okay.
14.
Okay, yeah, you're good. I mean,
So, like,
if Allegra was here, she probably would have noticed you got the slight flush that went over the tops of your cheeks up to your ears.
okay, like knowing what I know, can I roll a perception with advantage? Because I know what it is.
Okay, you can roll a straight perception.
Okay.
Just one.
Nope, 13.
Yep, nope, you don't know anything.
Okay.
You're just like, wow, they just really popped into that book there.
Like, went at it with a gusto.
Fucking Benjor's just over here like, wow, that must be a good book.
I'd go over there and look, but this wine is so good.
That wine is just so good.
Can you just leave me the bottle? Just like, I'll
James is
finish
like,
that right now.
I shouldn't really just leave you with a bottle of alcohol. Looks over at Forge, but just for you, I will leave this here for you to have access to it. Why am I fucking, what the fuck is, why, I was like, why am I hearing Angel of Music? It's on this playlist. I'm like, ugh. Sorry, I got a little thrown out of whack there. I cannot be hearing fucking Phantom of the Opera right now. I'll start vibing. Anyway, like, y'all want to hear me start singing Phantom of the Opera? I'll do it.
Yes.
So right now I turned on a playlist that is classical music for villains.
Love that. Send it to me.
Yeah.
That might be some of the inspiration in my book. By the way, cards, I'm writing a book.
I am kind of surprised you didn't come out with one sooner.
I have tried to write 3 different books since I was in high school, but this is the
Okay.
one I think I'm actually going to stick it through with.
Okay. DMs.
DM's bet. Okay, I'll listen to it later. I don't need to do it right now. Okay, so completely off topic. I started writing one in high school that like I had a dream about, and then decided, oh my god, this would be a really good idea for a book. So basically, there's a woman who is a quote unquote like psychic consultant with the local police department and helps them solve murders. But it turns out that she's actually not psychic. She is going into a fugue state and committing the murders and getting these like psychic dreams.
I see.
So they can
I
never
was thinking I was
figure
thinking
out.
psych for a second, and then you said, and then she goes into this state. I'm like, oh,
She thinks that she's a psychic, like finding all these clues, but they can never figure out who killed the person. It's because it's her committing these crimes in a fugue state. And so she thinks because she's remembering them when she sleeps, she thinks she's psychic.
I mean, you know, technically speaking, that is being psychic. It's just not correctly psychic.
I mean, it's not psychic like you're knowing what's going to happen before it happens.
No,
She's just
but
recalling
that
these
I wouldn't.
events and thinking that she's thinking they're happening before they're happening, but
But
it's
I
actually
wouldn't
because
call
she's
that
there.
psychic because going to a psychic in general doesn't mean that they're going to tell you what's going to happen in the future.
No, but I mean, she's going into a fuse state, but she thinks it's something that she envisioned happening while it's happening while she was asleep. Like, she's seeing these crime scenes, and they're like, well, you're knowing all these details of these crime scenes, you must be psychic. But it turns out she was in a fugue state committing the crimes.
It kind of reminds me of in Harry Potter when he's looking through the eyes of Nagini and he's like seeing people die.
Yes. But it turns out she's actually the one doing it, and they only find out later because, she's reporting, she's like saying, I feel like I don't feel like they're done with this victim yet. Like they survived, I don't feel like they're done. So they set a stake out, and she literally is in a fugue state, goes in and is trying to kill the victim, and they find her trying to kill the victim. And it's like this big like mind fuck at the end because everyone thought she was psychic.
Well,
That's really good.
spoilers.
Why would it be spoilers? I'm never gonna finish writing it.
You don't know that.
I won't.
Okay,
You
so
better.
anyway, so playing D&D, right?
And welcome back to D&D.
The only murders in this game are the ones I've already confessed to
No,
in a war.
the only murders,
Incorrect.
the only murders are ones that are yet to happen.
Correct.
So, you all are sitting in this room. Finjor is drinking his wine. Forge is cracking spines open on a how to housekeep type book. And Willow's just over here reading smut.
Sounds like my coworker.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, it sounds like the entire group chat.
I'm like me at the function.
Yeah.
What function? Doesn't matter.
My coworker reads like straight up like hardcore smut
I
at the
mean,
register.
I got sent smut links during my grandmother's funeral.
Oh my gosh. You did not tell me that.
Because, like, they didn't know that I was at my grandma's funeral, and they were like, oh shit. And I was like, it's okay, I'm gonna read them after. But yeah, no,
So,
that was the thing. Um, so, you all are sitting there, you're reading, you're existing, you're drinking wine. Roll me a constitution saving throw, Finjor.
Let me find that one. 16.
So you are not getting drunk, but like you're feeling tipsy, which is crazy. I mean, you don't know that it's not actually wine, but you're like, wow, this wine's not affecting me as much as I thought it would. Like, maybe I should drink more.
I mean, I did ask him to leave me the bottle.
Yeah,
And
Jenkins
he
brings
did
you
leave me
another
the bottle.
bottle.
Is this the same wine as I was drinking before?
He just nods and goes, "It's the same wine, like same bottle, same shipping date, and all of that. It's just the same bottle, just
Excellent.
a different
Pour myself
bottle."
another glass.
Jenkins just looks over at Forge and just,
And I go,
he kind of walks over and kind of, not over the back of the couch, but over kind of near the side of the couch where Willow's sitting, is just, "Would you like another drink?"
I'm too entranced in this book to even realize he had spoken to me right away. But then I hear it like a couple minutes later. I'm like, oh, yes, I would like another
He
drink.
like wanders back over and pours you actual wine and just
Why is
puts
your
it in
bottle
your
different than
hand.
mine?
it's because yours is much stronger. We know that you can handle it, being a big, strong ranger and all.
Ah, yes, thank you for noticing. Someone finally noticed.
Okay, so we're gonna say a little bit passes. I want another Constitution saving throw from Finjor. Why are you strobing? Stop.
Ooh, that's a solid 3.
you you
This is the
start
best
kind of,
outcome.
you're like swaying. You're like getting a little loosey goosey. And Finjor's or Forge is just over there like, that wasn't real alcohol. Like, what the fuck? And you're just like, you're vibing a
Here,
little bit.
here, I'm gonna shoot Jenkins a look of like, what?
He just looks over at Finjor and is like, so quickly after this happens, Allegra kind of rushes in and is like, "Hi, I'm so sorry. It's taking longer than I thought to get him put down." She's looking at Finjor just kind of,
He really enjoys that extra strong alcohol that we gave him.
she just looks at him just like,
Let's go.
Okay, I look up at Allegra and I'm like, it must be the placebo effect.
No, let's say, which, you know, because placebo means totally real because it's alcohol.
it's when you are,
Oh, yes.
you're really enjoying the wine and you feel it more than you think you would because you're really interested in it. Like, it's a good
Yeah.
wine. So like it seems a little stronger to you than you're used to because you're so into it. Like, you want it to be really good and you know it's really good, so you're feeling it more. And she just comes up and pats him on the shoulder,
What is that for?
telling you that I am happy that you are appreciating the wine I picked out for you.
Thank you, Allegra. It's very good.
I'm so glad that it's very good.
So can I say something out of character real quick? Okay, I'm saying this out of character. Just yeah, it's actually it's a Welch's, it's Welch brand.
Allegra
Okay,
just kind of picks up a glass from the bar and is like, "I'll have what Willow's having." I'm not.
Ah, the
I have
bitch wine. Got it.
Yes, I have to go back to a child. I have to have a weaker wine. I need to put him to bed before I can come have the stronger stuff. Sue me. She looks over Forge and is like,
Your loss. I'm drinking the rest of this bottle.
"Oh no, I'm mortified. Where will I ever find another bottle of that tonight?" She literally, every time she winks at you, she does the wink, but then goes like, she gives you like a little,
it's just a,
Yeah, so like Jenkins like fills it to the literal brim, and she's like like walking very slowly and just kind of like, "Oh, it's the weak wine." Oh god, I don't know how I'll ever make it back here before I fall asleep because of the weak wine. It just goes back upstairs.
Okay, so how many floors is this house?
It's a 3-floor house, so you all
Got
are
it.
on the second floor. She has Claude on the third floor for reasons.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I had the layout in my head correctly. Okay.
Yeah, so Claude is on the third floor, she's on the third floor. All of the rest of the rooms on the third floor are empty. The guests' quarters are on the second floor, and then there's also a couple of the sort of house staff's quarters, and then on the first floor, the rest of the house staff's quarters. It's usually people that like to be near the kitchen for
Yeah.
work and things like that. Like they pick where their quarters are. Like there is a basement, but it's like a wine cellar type basement or like a
Yeah.
cold storage cellar. So I mean, she kind of lets them pick. It's where they want to be based on their jobs, like where they would prefer to be.
Yeah.
But it's literally just her and Claude on the top floor, which usually it was her and her parents on the top floor. She took her parents' room. Claude took her room, and the rest of
Okay.
the rooms are empty.
Okay, at this point, I kind of want to just sit there and watch Finjoy just enjoy his merriment.
Which I will say, slightly off topic, Forge and Willow, in the past, when you have stayed there, you have stayed on the third floor.
Okay.
So those of you that have stayed here before in like a kind of friendly capacity, you have stayed on the third floor, but that was not even an option at this point.
Okay.
So you all continue existing. I'm assuming Finjor is just enjoying his wine.
What did you say you casted on it to change it so it felt like a burn?
Major illusion.
Major illusion.
Okay.
But at this point, you have convinced yourself it's wine so much that that doesn't even matter. It was literally just for the first drink. Yeah, no, you've convinced yourself it's wine because your last Constitution check was a 3.
3.
So yeah, no, you are so sure that it's wine that you are placeboing yourself into drunk.
I see.
Willow's reading smut. I would like another con save from Willow. You're reading
Oh my.
smut.
Okay.
You're reading smut at the function.
9.
You see Willow flip a page and then just cheeks bright red, kind of like you can almost hear, like if you're thinking really hard, you can hear like a little, but that's it. It's just bright red cheeks.
Okay, I'm gonna look at her and go. I'm gonna look at her and nod like, yeah, I know.
Can I see Willow in my peripheral or like in my view?
You can, but I would have you do a perception check with disadvantage because you've made yourself feel like you're drunk.
Oh, I need to find that one.
So roll twice, take the lesser of 2.
Yeah.
I have a 19 and a 21.
Oh my god, yeah. So you just kind of glance over and Willow's just like bright red in the face, kind of face buried in the book.
And in my faux drunkenness, I'll just point it at her and go like, "Man, you must be pretty fucking drunk too."
Oh yeah. You know, I'm sort of allergic to alcohol, so I get my face goes flush when I drink.
Well, don't go too far in that bitch wine.
Okay. Okay. At this point, can I try and sting myself a glass of the grape juice just sneakily?
Sure. Sleight of hand check.
Is that a hand? Okay. That's a 9. Do I get advantage because he's drunk?
Sure. I'll give it to you.
There you go. That's an 18.
Yeah, you do it.
I just quickly down it and then put the glass underneath the desk and like look at Jenkins and go.
And it's just kind of like wanders over and he's like, which
Uh,
one?
uh, just point down at the glass like.
Do you want the real wine or the fake wine?
Don't take. Because I pulled myself a glass of the fake and I said, "Please take it away before you see this."
Okay.
Because honestly, at this point, it's fun just seeing how fake drunk he can get.
Yep, he just does that.
It's like handing somebody water in a shot glass at a frat party.
You know, you say that, but it works. The amount of sorority girls I gave water in their tumbler cup at a frat party, and they were like, "Oh my god, I'm so wasted. Like, I'm just getting more wasted." I'm like literally
Sorceress.
fills up the tap water into their tumbler and hands it to them to like sober them out. And I'm like, "Oh my god, it's got like." I put a mixer in there with some water, like some vodka, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm like so drunk, I'm getting drunker," and I'm like, "Yeah, for sure."
Tell me
Man,
all about it.
man, I can barely taste the alcohol. I'm getting so drunk. Yeah, huh?
They're like, "I can't taste the alcohol anymore." Like, "Oh my god, I'm getting so crazy," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Then I give them like 15 minutes. I'm like, "Hey, do you want me to take you back home?" They're like, "Yes, I want to just go to bed." And I'm like, "Oh, thank God. I'm not going to have to try and drag them away from a dude's apartment tonight. Tomorrow night might be
This
a different story,
time.
but tonight." Then I get them in bed and I give them water. I give them some Gatorade. I give them some ibuprofen. I leave it on the desk. I write a note for them to tell them what to take when. And I pull their covers over them, make sure their shoes are off. I try and leave them in as comfy clothes as possible. I'm like, "Hey, do you want to change to like a t-shirt and shorts?" Like that kind of thing. Pull the blanket up over them, make sure they're comfy, and then I turn off the lights and I'm like, I text them. I'm like, "Hey, text me when you wake up." I was a great fucking sorority member.
You sound like a sorority mother.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's
Yeah.
why they liked me being there, is because I could drink so much more than them and still be sober enough to take care of them.
I mean, in all honesty, you do give me better advice than my own mother. So
I mean,
you know.
valid.
Anyway, so it's
Kind of sucked that, like, I was 17 and I just generally had a higher tolerance, and, the only
A
reason
higher
they liked.
tolerance for bullshit? No way.
No, I had a higher tolerance for alcohol just in general.
That too.
I
Which, to
mean,
be fair, given your stature, I wouldn't have guessed.
yeah, no, I just generally had a higher tolerance and could babysit people while also going shot for shot with them.
Because I can't remember. In high school, you were not. You probably were not more than 120 pounds at best.
I
And
think
you
I,
were like 5'4".
yeah, I was 5 foot in high school. I think I graduated high school and I was 90 pounds.
Yeah.
I grew 2 inches during college
Look
and
at you go.
got more in the.
You were not what I would call busty in high school.
Yeah, no,
You
now
would
we're
be
like
on
a
the.
triple D.
Man, look at it.
I was like
Fuck.
like striving to fit into a B when I graduated high school, but now I'm a triple D. I grew 2 inches. Um, but yeah, no, I just could apparently, I guess it's like a family trait that I'm just really good at holding my alcohol.
It all went to the boobs.
I got that from my dad's side. They're fucking like pros at the alcohol shit. I got the German, the British, and the Irish genes that just all accumulated into that part. I didn't
I
get
got the
any of.
Danish. I got the Danish Canadian. I can drink, not a lot, not like a stupendous amount, but enough to outdo most people.
My dad got the Cherokee. I got the Irish, German, English, the skin, but good God, did I get the drinking skills.
I mean, to give you an idea, I've had half a bottle of Captain Morgan's tonight, and I don't feel jack shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I am at a half bottle of vodka, and I did not eat until like right before this last drink.
The only thing I've had today is chicken salad.
Yeah, I'm like, I literally had my 2 cheese enchiladas, and I was like, wow, that's all I've eaten today.
So, anyways, back to D&D.
Right, D&D,
Okay,
that thing we were
so
doing before.
I know Nyx is like rushing us along because she wants sleepies.
Yeah, because I sleep so easily, as you know.
Yes, you
If
fell
I can't
asleep
get drunk,
a
at
couple
least
days
my
ago.
D&D character can. Somehow.
Okay, so y'all are chilling, you're vibing. The night starts to wind down. It's getting a little later than you thought it would be before Allegra comes back. But you know, I will request a con save from each of you. Finjor, yours is with disadvantage.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay.
14.
A slutty 20.
Finjor, yours is with disadvantage, so roll twice, take the lesser.
Okay. 13.
Okay. And Willow?
18. Nope, 19 because I had
19?
+1.
Okay. So Finjor, you're like kind of floating on the waves. You're just like, yeah. We're just fine. Willow's mega fine. Just reading smut, just like locked in. You all start to get to a point where you're realizing it's getting later and later, and Allegra hasn't come back. And you're kind of coming to like well, maybe she fell asleep. Like maybe she was sitting with him and fell asleep kind of thing. But at this point, it's just up to y'all if you choose to go to your rooms, what you choose to do. But
So, admittedly, I want to go up and check. So I'm worried.
okay, do you know where his room is?
Well, I've been there. I mean, I've been there all the time. So because I know where her room is.
You know where her room is. You don't necessarily know where his room is.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just go upstairs and investigate the room, see if I can find anything.
Okay, so where you can go to is Allegra's room. That's the only room you know up there other than her
Yeah,
parents' room.
yeah. I think I'm gonna go straight to Allegra's room. 'Cause that's all I know.
Okay, what do you do when you get there?
First I'm just gonna knock on the door and
Okay, the room is silent.
okay. Can I just crack open can I see if the door's unlocked?
The door is locked.
Huh, that's weird. Does it have a keyhole or anything?
It does have a keyhole. How you can recognize it is a key that is worn around kind of Allegra's neck. It's very small. Like it's longer, but it's small to where it kind of almost looks like a pendant that's long.
Yeah.
But it is also generally worn on the belt or some form of thing of the other people that work in the house.
Okay. Can I see if I can peek through the keyhole, see if I can see anything?
Okay, do a perception check with disadvantage.
That is an 8 and a 17.
Yeah, you don't really see much of anything. It's dark on the inside.
Okay, I'm going to okay, the point I'm gonna check parents' room as well. Because
Okay.
she might be in there.
The door is locked.
Okay, I'm gonna go down. Hey guys, the door of her room is locked.
In my somehow drunken stupor, I'm going to ask Jenkins for another bottle, and while asking for it, I'm going to ask him where she is.
As far as I know, she would be upstairs. Don't. I'm not sure if she had already put Claude to sleep and gone to her room. I'm not sure where she would be upstairs, but I know she's on the third floor.
Could you take Forge with you so he can stop bothering us with this trivial
I mean,
mannerisms?
if she is already asleep, I do not wish to wake her by opening the door and letting someone in there. She's already a very light sleeper, so if she was, intoxicated enough to fall asleep and be in a deep sleep, I don't want to wake her up. She has not been sleeping well recently.
Okay, but well, I'm probably just tired, or we were in the morning. Jenkins, please take me to my room.
Okay, I can do that. I'm sure that Claude will be up bright and early in the morning, and he'll probably be blabbering on about how amazing she was all through the night, and then she'll wake up late and look like she had rolled out of a gutter, because
Okay,
that's how she usually is when she stays
okay.
with him.
Till I say, okay, good night, guys, and I just follow Jenkins to my room.
Yeah,
Good
Jenkins walks you to
night.
your room, and he swings the door open, and you just walk in and just slam it shut behind you.
Yeah. Okay, and then on my bed, I'm going to use shape body into like this morphless blob, just.
Okay, wonderful. So Willow and Finjor, what are y'all plans?
I'm gonna go put the book back on the bookshelf and then also go to my room.
Okay, Jenkins escorts you up to your room. It is on the second floor. It's a couple doors down from Forge's room.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna go in and just probably like sit on the bed, maybe look at the stars out the window a little bit.
Finjor, what's your plans?
Well, since I'm already plaster drunk, I'm just gonna lay my head down and probably pass out on the bar.
Wonderful. It's a standing bar.
Awesome. I will probably slump to the floor in my sleep.
Jenkins eventually comes after a little while after he's taken everyone else to bed and just comes and picks you up and is like, "Do do you want to go to bed?" Like has grabbed you up under your arms.
Yes, sir.
He just kind of starts dragging you up the stairs. Should I call someone for you?
Is Allegra an option?
The mistress desperately needs her sleep right now. Should I call Forge?
No, I think he would just make fun of me.
That is understandable. Drops you in the bed, shuts the door. So, you all sleep for a while. Some of you hitting sleep faster than others. Finjor obviously drops up into like obliterated, dreamless sleep. And after an unknown amount of time, you all awake. It is immediate and it is jarring to a blood curdling scream and then absolute silence. You start hearing feet thunder up the stairs, past the first floor, past the second floor, up to the third floor, and then banging on a locked door.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get up and get my stuff. What the hell's going on?
Okay,
Being that
Willow.
I
Willow, how do you react?
Um, I'm also gonna come out my room and look around, wonder what's going on as well.
Okay, Finjor.
being that I fell asleep in all of my gear, minus my two backpacks, I'm probably going to dart out of my room and follow the ruckus upstairs.
Okay. So you all eventually migrate your way upstairs and they are trying to bang through the door. They're trying their keys in the door to Allegra's room. And like none of them are finding purchase. Not a single one of them is being able to unlock this door. Somehow, some way, their keys are being stopped.
Okay. Can I try to break down the door?
Yes, give me a strength check.
12.
So you bear into the door with your shoulder and it starts to give, but not quite.
I will also give it a shot.
Okay, do you want to do it a second time and one of you take advantage or both of you roll a separate time?
Uh, I have a plus 4 to strength. Can I do it? What do you have on strength?
+3.
Okay, can I do it with advantage?
Yeah, sure.
So that is a 16 and a 23.
Okay. So you ram into the door once, twice, and it gives. You see wood splintering out, the metal shards from the locking place are splitting out. And as you ram the door open, you realize it's hitting a resistance. And when you step into the room, the resistance topples over, and it is Allegra with her throat slit, wide eyed, her mouth like gaping open like in a scream. And she is dead.
Okay, is Claude around?
Claude has like he stumbled out eventually during this whole ruckus, but he's like kind of peering over, like trying to figure out what's going on. The only people that are immediately seeing it are you and Finjor, who have pushed your way into the room by knocking down the door. Everyone else is still outside and has not seen what's happened.
Okay, okay, I just want to give them a terrifying look. She's. Okay, I'll just go, hey, Annabelle, come here.
Annabelle walks up and like sees the top of Allegra's head and like you can see her face, I mean, drain of blood, and she like clutches a hand to her heart, and you have a moment where she stumbles and you're like wondering like is she having a heart attack right now? And she's just sitting there and she's like trying to breathe deeply and get her grounding back, and after a moment or so she's like, "Oh, what do I do?"
Well, we need to find out who did it. This is, there's a murderer in this fucking house.
Someone here would have done this?
I mean, does anyone else have access to the house other than the staff?
No, I mean it's you all and us, but I cannot imagine a single person here who would have done this.
Okay, well, best thing to do, get Claude out of here. Put him in his room. Do something. He can't see this.
I'll take him down the side stairwell and get him downstairs because I don't want to try and walk him by this and he will not be okay with sitting in his room.
B- Please, we'll handle the rest.
So she takes and kind of grabs Claude by the shoulders, like almost kind of digging into his arm, like in a "you can't get away from me, no go back" kind of way, and she's shuffling him down these side stairs. And it's kind of like it's a built into the wall thing where she kind of taps and it pulls open and she can walk through, and then it closes shut and kind of just looks like the wall. And she's like, you can hear the steps going down and down and down until you can't hear them anymore, but you can
Yeah.
tell they're obviously at the bottom.
Okay, and at this point, I would like to pick Allegra up, put her in her bed, and close her eyes.
Okay, do me a strength check because it is dead weight.
13.
You are lifting her up. It is difficult. I mean,
Give me
this
a
is
hand.
quite literally dead weight. As Finjor comes up, you are able to lift her and put her on her bed. Like you're getting to a point where like lifting a dead body, kinda heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Finjor's help, you were able to get her on her bed and close her eyes. But I
Okay,
mean,
and
her mouth is like stuck open in this like
yeah.
gaping scream.
Okay, to the staff, say. So I think we can all surmise what happened here.
Jenkins just like not like
I'll just-
necessarily a cross, but I did that because that's all I
Yeah.
know about religious, but it's a various religious symbol within D&D. He
Yeah.
does the symbol of like the wild mother.
So and unless it looks like someone here may have done it.
What does Willow have to say? If Willow has anything to say, I don't know. You started speaking and I didn't hear you. Are you okay, bestie?
They sound to be across the room.
You're like, why are you on the other side of the world? My God, bestie's dead. Rip, bestie.
Do you want to go to Fenjor first and then get to Willow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna do a perception check on the room.
Okay. Do a general perception check, but with disadvantage. Because you've convinced yourself you're
Ooh.
drunk.
Not anymore.
Convince the hangover.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yep.
That's a
So
5.
you're looking around the room, and you're like, wow, that's a room. What you can tell is there's a bed. There's a dead body on the bed. Ford just closed the eyes, and you're like, a lot of books.
Sorry.
Wow, that's a lot of books. And that's about what you get.
Sweet.
Okay, you good? You good, bestie?
I am here, yes.
Welcome back.
Are you okay? Do you need to talk?
No, I'm good. Dad was just asking me if the AC was working. I think it's broken right now, so
Oh.
I said no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, do we need to talk about something? I know shit be happening. So I'm like, we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So Forge dropped Allegra on the bed, closed her eyes. Finjor walked in and been like, that's a lot of books. I'm drunk. How are you reacting to this?
Hungover.
I'm gonna walk upstairs because I was still downstairs, like right out my room. So I'm gonna
No,
walk
you
upstairs.
all came upstairs together.
Oh, we were all upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna look in and see what's going on, except I also don't like the sight of blood too much.
I mean, so what you can see is that Forge is kind of sitting over the body on the bed. It was originally you had watched Forge and Finjor pick up the body and carry it to the bed
Oh.
and close her eyes.
I
So
see.
that's mostly what you're seeing, either of them on either side of the bed.
I
They're-
think the first thing on my mind is going to be Claude.
Okay, no. Let's say Claude has already gone down the side
Yeah,
stairs.
so-
Right. But I'm still
Forge
worried.
Forge asked Annabelle to take him away from the scene. And she did. She took him downstairs. I mean, at least when I described it to Forge, they could hear the spiraling all the way down until they hit the bottom.
Okay.
So they didn't even just take him to the second floor where their rooms were. They took him all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
No boots.
Well,
No boots. No.
so I'll look
No.
down and I'll ask if anyone has any ideas on who might have done this. If we have any suspects in mind.
Thank you, Boots.
Well, all we know is that it had to be one of the staff.
Right.
Fat boy.
It stopped the strobing. I don't.
He's just climbing.
There you go, boy. He said clunk. So all the staff is looking at each other, and you can see them start to open their mouths and then look at each other again. And then they're like, they are all getting to the point where they're like mentally like, but could you have done this? And they're alarmed. They're starting to like, mentally, they're starting to turn on each other, but they're like unsure of what's happening. Like they don't know who to distrust.
Okay, please, now is not the time to turn on each other. We know as one of you. It's time to. We gotta talk to all. We gotta talk to all of them.
Camille just pokes her head up and is like, you asked us who would have done this. You said it was someone on the staff. How do you expect us not to look at each other?
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Willow and Fidor. Guys, we have to split into groups. We gotta talk to them. We gotta do
I
some
mean,
investigation.
you asked who would have done this to all of us. I and Annabelle and Charles and Arnold, we have been with her since she was a child, before she was born. You
And to which
asking
say,
us to think who would have killed her? That is unheard of. Like, it's alarming and jarring and horrifying.
I'm gonna breathe. I do apologize. I get in a panic state sometimes.
I mean, I understand that, but you have us all convinced that we're going to turn around the corner and one of us will have murdered her. Like, we have been together most of our lives and we have been with her for our entire life. I cannot imagine that any one of us would have done this to her.
Okay, I do apologize for making baseless claims. Instead, I will be looking for evidence. Can I? Okay, now can I do a perception check around the room, see if I can find anything?
Yeah, for sure. Perception check.
God damn it!
Okay. With your 6, so what you see Annabelle, Arnold. Well, Annabelle is coming back from being with Claude and putting him in his room. You see Annabelle as she comes back, Arnold, Camille, and Portia. They're all, I mean, they're huddled in a corner. They're like distressed. Like it is intermittently like sobbing, like violently
Yeah.
sobbing between them, and they're trying to get it together. Um, so you just see them kind of huddled around each other and like trying to calm down the crying. Um, Lydia, who you all had not met before, but I mean, she's a human. She has kind of brownish red hair. She's just kind of standing to the side, just kind of looking at the floor, and she's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" Um, Claude is in his room, and when Annabelle comes back in, she is walking in with Charles, who is a halfling. He is the groundskeeper. And I mean, he had heard of this. He stayed out, like, he lives out on the grounds. So he heard what was happening, kind of came in with Annabelle and was like, oh my god, what the fuck? So they're all kind of in there now, and like, Annabelle's just kind of like, glancing around, trying to, like, I mean, she hasn't, had one of her charges murdered on her watch. And so she's like, how do I deal with this emotionally, but also deal with this logically? And everyone else is just kind of like, what the fuck? We've like been here while this child has been here. We've raised this child. What the fuck? And you can see them, they keep looking up the stairs towards Claude and they're like, okay, he's still up there. We're good. Okay. And like every once in a while, someone is checking up the stairs to see if Claude is like leaving his room. And that's what you're getting from the other
Sorry.
people.
Did you say he went down?
No, so Annabelle took him up to the third floor. So y'all are on the
Got it.
second floor. Annabelle took him
Okay.
up to the third floor, and they keep just looking up, like listening for any noises above to signify that he would have been coming down, because they don't want him to have to see this.
Okay.
So it is y'all three and a group of people that work for the house, and they're all panicked as fuck and trying to keep it together.
I'd like to turn around and ask Jenkins how long has it been since we all went to bed.
Jenkins, you turn around and ask him, and he's like, I mean, you all went to bed at different times. I mean, you went to bed first, I think. And and then Forge went to bed, and then Willow was shortly after, but she realized that you all were in bed and she was still reading, and so she went up to bed. And he's like sitting there, he's like, you can see him like thinking through it, and he's like, it hasn't been long. It has been within an hour that you all have gone to bed.
So we are under the assumption that she was already in her room at the time.
I think so. I mean, she's very quiet. Like when she wants to be quiet, she's so quiet. I don't know where she would have gone.
Forge, you went to check her room last night, or before we awoke.
Yes. 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 It was locked. She was asleep.
When did you check that her room was asleep? This is Jenkins.
Uh, that was right before. That was right before I went to bed. That's right before you took me to bed.
She she doesn't usually lock her room.
Yeah.
It was
Let's
already
wait.
locked when you went and checked.
Yes, it was locked when I went and checked. As was prepare. Sorry, both of the rooms that both rooms were locked.
I mean, one room isn't in use, but the other room is where Claude sleeps. And he also doesn't usually lock the room so that she can get in there if he's having a nightmare.
Is there any reason why it would have been locked?
I I don't think either of them would have locked their rooms.
Does anyone else have a key to the room that you're aware of?
I mean, all of the staff have keys to the rooms.
Do you know if there have been any keys that may have gotten stolen in the past?
I mean, no, we all generally wear the keys on. Some of the women wear them on a necklace, some of us wear them on like a keychain. I mean, we all keep them on our person. As far
Uh,
as I know, none of them have been lost. Do do you want me to run a check and see if anyone doesn't have theirs?
if you don't, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, and he starts going around to people, and the ones that are on the floor still are like showing him their keys, and he's like matching it up to his own. And he's like, okay, I still have Annabelle, who is upstairs with Claude, that I need to check the key of. We also have Lydia, who stays on the second floor, but she has not come out yet. She's a very heavy sleeper. So I will try and knock on her door and see if she wakes up. Um,
Can I
and
just say, out
then,
of character here for a second, you
Mhm.
you brought up that Lydia was here a little while ago. Like you said that she was with this group.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, there's a lot of people for me to keep track of. It's fucking 8 NPCs and then
I can help,
Allegra.
it's fine. I remember things.
I apologize. Lydia's in bed. Or in her room. Question mark. Claude has a key, but he should be in his room. So if I find him there and Annabelle's not there, then she has just left him. And I think that I can't think of another person who would have a key
Mm.
other than Annabelle and Lydia, who aren't here.
Are there any guards or family members that would also have a key?
she doesn't have any family members left. She was the last one. You all wondered why she's so distressed about propriety and making sure that everything is correct and proper. It's because she was the only one. Annabelle unfortunately tries to shove this on her to make her seem like a proper lady, but that's not what she was meant to do. It's not what she wants to do. So unfortunately, it's just her. And then as for the guards, they come in the house to maybe grab food and drink, but they don't have access. And as far as I know, like normally we would say if they are given access, but she has not given any of them access. They're generally all new, so they don't have keys. So if you would like, I can go check Annabelle and Lydia and Claude's keys. I'll probably ask Annabelle to grab Claude's keys for me because I assume he will probably be asleep or probably will not be a great person to jar right now.
I'm gonna say, please, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to solve this.
Okay, I will do what I can.
Thank you.
God, why is it as soon as I say stop? Okay, cool. I Are we gonna be cool here? We gonna be good? No? We gonna be good here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's like when you point to your eyes and say, like, my eyes are up here.
It's just like
You're just
blinking
like,
on the
yeah,
boobs.
I know, but like boobs.
Yeah. So Jenkins runs away. He immediately goes up to the top floor. You can hear some shuffling as someone comes to a door and opens it. And what you can hear is Annabelle's voice. It's quiet because it's the floor above, muffled through carpet and wood. But you can hear them talking. You can hear a lot of walking around, like going into the room. Wait, y'all are on Allegra's floor. It's the same floor. Oh my god, my brain is already
Yeah.
not focusing. So you hear a lot of running down the hall, on the far end of the hall, shuffling, knocking, 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 door opening, conversation. You can hear him rush into the room. You can hear Claude's voice being like, "What is going on?
What's going on?
What's happening?" And he's like freaking out. And like, Jenkins is like, "I'm sorry. We need to know what happened." And like, they're not turning up a key in there. And Claude's just in there crying a little bit. Because again, he's a baby. He's just a baby. And
But he doesn't know what happened to Allegra, right?
I mean, he knew that something happened and then he was shuffled into his room to not see it.
So, how smart is he?
I mean, he's like 14, but again, he's had some trauma recently. His brain ain't quite working
Shit.
in a normal way. If we get to a point, I'll drop his trauma on y'all. I'll do it. I got it. It's on log. It's in his fucking thing. Yeah, so you can hear as the door slams shut behind them, you can hear Annabelle and Jenkins arguing over dealing with Claude. Because she's saying he's being too harsh and he's like, I'm just trying to figure out what happened. And she's like, he's just a child. Like, this is finding out she is dead is traumatizing enough for him. Why do you want to bring him into an investigation without any possible proof that he might have done this? He is a child. Do not drag him into this until you have proof. And then Ergin's like, well, fuck, you're right. She's like, yeah, I'm right. This is a child. He lost his father. Leave him be. So, I am going to, since you are all together in this area, I'm going to let you marinate. Think about what you possibly might do, your next actions, and I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Okay. So I think then. So okay, what do you think? Sorry, what do you think the next course of action is?
What?
What do y'all think the next course of action is going to be?
Well, first off, I'm going to ask if how much alcohol content my wine had last night. Because if I'm still feeling hungover, or if I'm not feeling hungover, I could just be like, you know, for all the wine I drank last night, I'm not feeling much of a hangover.
I think realistically, the next best thing to do is like set up a base of operations so we can, you know,
I feel like staying in the room and keeping it under our jurisdiction outside of the staff's is probably a better plan.
Yes. Or we
yeah.
can ask the staff who they think did it, since we're sort of been accusing them.
No, but
Well,
like, okay, look, the problem is they've been working together their whole life. They don't believe that one of them could have done it.
Oh, I see.
That's the
and
issue
if
running into.
and if there's no security or guards who could have gone into the building, then there is no reason to accuse any of the guards. Like if they only have access to the bottom floor, to the kitchen, and to that's about it.
So okay, I think the next best thing to do is like really focus on looking for clues, like because like someone has to have like blood on their hands, so like some gloves they threw away somewhere to they have the
Well,
blood on their hands.
we
Yeah.
heard the scream and almost immediately rushed up to the third floor where the scream was heard. So, assuming that fact, and her throat was slit, so there should be blood in the room. So she could have had her throat slit in the room, but not at the door where she was found.
Yeah,
Okay.
she could have
Plus,
been
it would have
out.
had been taken. You would have had to have taken place very very recently.
So I want to ask Lexi, because I believe that Lexi said that we heard footsteps run to the bottom floor.
Did she? Sorry, they.
I believe they did, which I'm going to ask to clarify that, because if there was, we
I
need.
thought. I
Hold
thought
on,
what they said is that when we heard the scream, we heard people rush up past us up the
okay,
stairs.
yeah, you're right. Okay.
So
So I
I
think
think
yeah, I think the next course of action is to try and find if we can see where the blood splatter is on the wall.
right now I have an idea of who it could be based on what happened shortly after the door
Okay.
was busted open.
Who do you think?
I think it's Annabelle. Because when she took Claude up to his room, Lexi said that she felt on the wall and opened a door up to into a secret like side hallway
Oh no,
staircase type thing
no.
and
I
moved
think
up.
that's there. So I think that's there just as a way of like protection and getting people away from places without being seen.
Right, but if assuming that only a senior servant would know of such things in this house, it would probably be a senior servant who would know if there's one in her room.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask if it's common knowledge or not.
Because she said who all
That
was like the main ones. Jenkins,
Annabelle,
Annabelle, and Charles were like the oldest.
I believe so.
So those
Yeah.
are the three who would know it. But Charles is the groundskeeper, so he would have no reason to be in the house. So
Well,
it could only be
maybe,
between.
maybe Camille.
Or Lydia.
Well, Lydia's asleep in her room, so she's
Yeah.
also a suspect. So she's more likely to be than the other three. Because I'm not considering Claude a suspect at the moment.
I'm also talking to Twitch chat. Hi, Cookie. Okay, the next best action. We need to find the blood splatter on the wall, find where it is. After that, we need to ask if the secret passageway is common knowledge or not.
If they even remember saying that happened. I'm also going to rush to the restroom real quick.
Have fun.
I'll try my best not to miss.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi,
Hi, welcome back.
apologies. I had to do quick little puppy time because I got text messages about work shit and then I got really pissed off
Oh,
and
you
needed
good?
to have puppy time before I continued getting pissed off at people. Abby, I'm gonna tell you about work later because
Okay. You're looking at the bottle and you're just like, time to pour another.
Okay, so I have a question.
yes.
So the secret passageway that Annabelle took, is that common knowledge among staff?
I
Would I
mean,
know that?
it's not like it's uncommon to know about it. It's just kind of it's off to the side. It's more like hidden for random people that are coming into the house. Like it's a side stairway.
Yeah, yeah.
You kind of just push on the wall and it opens and you go down it. So
Because
if
yeah,
you're
Cloud was asking
around
about that.
if you're around it enough, so like probably Forge and Willow would know about it, not necessarily Finjor.
Because college was thinking that, oh wow, only senior people know about that.
I mean, so Willow kind of grew up around Allegra, and Forge is like Allegra's kind of, you know,
Mentor.
I was gonna say more partner in evil, but
Yeah,
yeah. So Finjor would know more, or Forge would know more. Finjor is kind of just. I mean, he
there.
said we're a fucking contractual obligation.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
all it's been so far.
I mean, Allegra wouldn't show
Or up
him
to
that.
this point.
Cards. I'm gonna tell you right now. Allegra with Finjar would have been like, "Let's be friends. I'm gonna invite you to all these things," and Finjar would be like, "Is this a contractual obligation?" And she's like, "No," but and he's like, "No."
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, she's tried to be friends with him. She wants to bring him into the fold. He's just like, "No."
Do I have to be there?
She's like,
No?
"No." Well, I wanted to. He's like, "No." So yeah,
So
no, he doesn't know about these secret passageways, but anyone who has, been with her for a minute is like, oh, we're friends. We're gonna go through all the secret passageways to get all the fun places. Oh my god. We know they're not in the kitchen right now, but you know what they just baked? Cookies. We're gonna go get cookies. We're gonna sneak through the secret passageway. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
y'all would know about
also
it, but Fenjor wouldn't.
yeah.
Ooh.
So I would also like to see if I can see where the blood splattered, if it was anywhere else and the body was moved.
Let's like talk about the fact that there is a random cut on the inside of my arm.
Who could have done that?
I mean, it wasn't Boots or the dogs because it doesn't hurt.
Fuck. Damn
Ooh,
it.
spooky. Maybe I'll die from this. That'll be inconvenient for everyone at work. So I would like you to roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Of which I have proficiency in, so please be nice.
Are we all doing that, or is
That's a 10.
Okay, so you are, hi Cookie, you are looking around and you're not seeing too terribly much. I mean, what it looks like, any of the blood that has come from her body is kind of just situated around the door.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's about all you got. I mean, there's a lot of blood. Necks, anything near the head bleeds a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all you know is from when you woke up out of sleep and heard a scream and then moved, you don't necessarily know the timeline there.
Let's see.
Fuck you. Stupid ass fucking fly. Fucking get out of here. We're walking here. Walking here.